Hello, everyone. How's it going? If you can please all make sure your mic is muted, unless you have a question, happy to answer any questions. It's the top of the hour, so let's get started. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Ma'an. Welcome, Yusuf. Welcome, Yahya, Ibrahim, Yara, Adham, Nada, Yasmin, Aya, Lubna, Dareen, Ro'a, Abdullah, Maryam, Ahmed, Salma, uh, Muhammad, Muhammad, Hussein, Omar, Shahd, Fatma, Kinzi, and many other students. Welcome, everyone. You guys are all, you can hear me, you can see me, and everything is fine, right? I think so. All right. If you will put anything in the chat, please just either text everyone or, yeah, probably just write the text to everyone. All right, let's get started. Before we get started, I want to share my screen, and what I want to do is show you the schedule really quickly. So as you all know, كلكم عارفين إن الدرس بتاعنا Sunday and Thursday حد وخميس at 3 p.m. Cairo time, 4 p.m. Saudi, 5 p.m. الإمارات. So again, the class is Sunday and Thursday. الهومورك بتاعك لازم يتسلم قبل الكلاس بيوم، يعني الهومورك بتاع النهارده لازم تسلموه يوم الاثنين، يوم الاربعاء، سوري، يوم الاربعاء الساعه 12 بتوقيت مصر. Okay, so the homework is due Wednesday. Today's homework is due Wednesday, and don't worry, today's homework is good. It's not very bad. It's short, but after that it's going to be pretty big. So you have to just make sure to work accordingly and schedule your time accordingly. Make sure it's submitted by noon on Wednesday. And حصة الخميس، الواجب بتاع يوم الخميس, Thursday's work will be submitted by Saturday. So that it's submitted before Sunday's class. So you only have 2 days here. So again, you have to make sure it's submitted on time. The other thing I want to quickly mention is that the office hour with Miss Inji is going to be tomorrow on Monday, so make sure you attend it. Miss Inji will give office hours every Monday at 7 o'clock Cairo time, which is 8 Saudiya, 9 Emirat. What Miss Inji will do is ان هي هتسمع لكم، كل واحد هيفتح المايك وهيسمع الاسئله. انا مديه اسئله معينه لمس انجي تسمعها، فبكره هي عندها 15 سؤال. كل ستودنت هي هتساله مثلا 3 to 5 questions او حاجه. اوكي، so make sure ان انت تحضر، وميك شور ان طبعا المايك يكون شغال، وان انت هتسمع، هتفتح المايك وهتسمع. اوكي، الاوفيس اور بتاعي انا هيكون يوم الثلاث Tuesday. This is a really tentative ميعاد. We can change it, but this Tuesday is going to be 8 p.m. Cairo time. We can change it later. That's okay. But this is just a ميعاد مؤقت كده يعني، بس ميعاد انجي ميعاد ثابت. So please make sure that you attend it. All right. حاجة تانية، مس انجي لما هتدخل معاكم الاوفيس اور، انت لازم تدخل ما بين 7 و7 وربع علشان تسمع. اوكي، between 7 and 7:15. and what she's gonna do again، هي هتسألك سؤال وانت هتجاوب عليه، ومس انجي هتحط لي هنا في الشيت وتقول لي الستودنت كان excellent، جاوب كل الأسئلة كويس، good, fair, needs improvement، ولا didn't attend at all. So طبعا at least you have to attend, at least you should either be good or hopefully excellent, of course. All right. So كل student لازم يدخل هيسمع، هيجاوب على الأسئلة اللي أنا مديها لمس إنجي اللي هي الخاصة بالدرس بتاع النهاردة، ومس إنجي هتقيمه عشان نعرف مستواه ايه. الحاجة التانية ايه تاني؟ كل اسبوعين بنبعت ريبورت للبيرنت. ده شكل الريبورت، اسم الطالب هيبقى هنا، student's name will be here, and we're gonna say like how much of your homework is being completed. Of course your homework will be corrected and a feedback will be provided. So انت هتسلم لي الواجب يوم الاربعاء، النهارده ايه، يوم الاربعاء. هتبعت الواجب، هتصور صفحه وهتبعت الواجب as one PDF document لمس دينا. هنصححه وهنرجعه لك ونديك الفيدباك ونقول لك عملت كام في المية تقريبا صح. و الريبورت ده هنكتب فيه إذا الطالب بيحضر في الميعاد، سوري مش الحضور كمان، تسليم الواجب مهم جدًا، لو بيتسلم في الميعاد والّا مش دايمًا في الميعاد، لو في تأخير هنكتب إن في تأخير، والّا دايمًا بيسلموا متأخر. إحنا مش عايزين أي تسليم متأخر، لإن محتاجين ضروري جدًا نصحح كل الواجب يوم الأربعاء عشان نرجعه لك يوم الخميس وتلحق تبُص فيه قبل ما ندخل على درس جديد، أوكي؟ الحاجة التانية في الريبورت هييجي لك طبعًا الscores. كل chapter عليه 2 كويز، واحد كويز multiple choice questions وواحد كويز كتابي هتكتب فيه. الكويز اونلاين، مس دينا هتبعت لينك على الجروب، اللينك ده انت هتدخله لما تبقى جاهز طبعا ومذاكر هتدخل هتحل الكويز عليه 10 درجات، مش هياخد منك اكتر من ربع ساعه، كويز قصير جدا لكن صعب جدا جدا جدا. انا مش عايزه اخوفك ولا حاجه، بس انا فعلا عايزاك تبقى جاهز لامتحان الاي جي وتبقى كده، تبقى like ready for and ready to score a really awesome grade. Okay, so الكويزز السكورز بتاعتها هتتكتب هنا. ده مثلا chapter 1 multiple choice, chapter 1 theory, chapter 2 multiple choice, chapter 2 theory and so on. في cumulative quizzes is a quiz that's administered after we finish a whole bunch of chapters. So after chapter 1 and 2 we're going to have a quiz on both chapters 1 and 2. After chapter 3 we're going to have a quiz on 1, 2 and 3. After chapter 5, we're going to have a quiz covering 3 chapters and so on. And it gets larger and larger until we finish the syllabus. We plan to finish the syllabus by January or February. So after that, we're going to have 3 months, February, Maris, April, to solve past papers. And the past papers will be recorded here for your parents. And hopefully, you're going to always score really awesome grades. So the total, of course, you all know it's out of 200. I have taught an orientation session June 27th. انا اديت orientation session كده بشرح فيه نظام الدرس ونظام الامتحانات وكده، يونيو 27. اللي ما حضروش مش مشكله، موجود على اليوتيوب. مس دينا بليز حطي على الشات اللينك بتاع الاورينتيشن سيشن والسلايدز. So you can please go back to it and watch it anytime. Preferably watch it these coming few days before the next session. Next session إن شاء الله Thursday. All right. حد عنده أي أسئلة على البيرنت ريبورت؟ حد عنده أي أسئلة على الاوفيس اور بتاع مس انجي او الاوفيس اور بتاعي؟ الاوفيس اور انجي مهم جدا جدا، ده كله لازم يحضره عشان نسمع. اوكي. اللي عنده أي أسئلة يفتح المايك ويسأل. Yes, يوسف، اتفضل يا يوسف.
It's about the office with Miss Angie.
Yes.
I have a lesson at this time.
درسك يخلص كام يا يوسف؟
11.
ثانية واحدة علشان فرق التوقيت بس.
الإمارات. توقيت الإمارات.
11 بتوقيت الإمارات، من 9 ل 11 يعني 9 to 11 بتوقيت الإمارات؟
لا، من 8 ل 11.
من 8 ل 11 بتوقيت الإمارات؟ الدرس 3 ساعات؟
Yes.
أوكي. طيب يوسف، مش مشكلة يا يوسف. أنت يوسف زيدان. طيب خلاص أنا اللي هسمع لك بقى. معاذ، اتفضل يا معاذ.
Sorry for my late entrance, but where is this homework supposed to be solved? Is there like a PDF that's supposed to be sent to us, or is there a book that's available in the store?
Thank you for asking, Muaz. That's a great question. So everything is on the website. Everything is on IGCSEvideos.com. I hope you have an account. Please create an account. And once you enroll in the class, you will have access. So when you go to the dashboard, you're going to see chapter 1. Okay. And when you click on chapter 1, you're going to see this screen. هتشوف المنظر ده. Okay, معاذ. فهتشوف النوتس. اول حاجه مثلا هتظهر لك هي النوتس، هتطبعها منين؟ هتطبعها من الحته دي. شايف البutton دي اللي بتعمل منها داونلود؟ هتعمل داونلود وهتطبعها. بعد كده في الورك شيتس. احنا النهارده علينا الورك شيت الاولاني اللي هو الستيت اوف ماتر، عباره عن جدول فاضي. It's an empty table that you're supposed to fill out. This is the table. You're going to fill it out. It's just a 1-page document, and then submit it to Ms. Dina as a PDF file. And then we're going to check it, correct it, and return it back to you. There's another worksheet, but it's not due today, it's due next time, inshallah. And then here's the classified. So the classified is another part of the homework. Your homework is 2 parts, worksheet and classified. So that was the worksheet. Here's the classified. This is for the classified, you have 2 documents. document من 2002 ل 15 ودوكيمنت تاني من 16 ل 18. تمام؟ فهتطبع both documents. الانسرز موجودة يا معاذ، وضروري جدا تشيك الانسر بتاعك اول باول عشان تتاكد انك ماشي صح. اوكي. دي الانسرز. سوري، لا مش دي الانسرز، دي where's the answers. Yeah, here's the answers. Okay, so you're gonna see the answers. Go ahead.
My other question is there like a WhatsApp group, or are we gonna be given
Yes.
the numbers? Or...
Yes, there is a WhatsApp group. So معاذ ضروري جدا تعمل filling للفورم. مس دينا ممكن please تحطي اللينك بتاع الفورم. You have to fill a form with your information, you know, your phone number, your parents' name, which grade you are, and so on. And then once you fill this form, Miss Dina is gonna add you to the WhatsApp group. So yes, we do communicate through the WhatsApp group. If you have any questions, you can text me. There's assistants on the WhatsApp group. Right now there's 4 assistants and there's gonna be more. So yes, there is a WhatsApp group. So please make sure you're on the WhatsApp group by filling the form. So everyone who's interested in the class, please make sure you fill the form. Ms. Dina هتحط لكم اللينك بتاع الفورم. registration form. Yes, so Ms. Dina حطت اللينك بتاع registration form. So while I'm on the website, let me really quickly show you الحاجات التانية اللي انت هتعملها النهاردة بعد الدرس. طبعا هتحل الواجب. تاني حاجة هتعملها ان انت هتسمع الفيديوز في pre-recorded videos. دي فيديوهات انا مسجلاها قبل كده. حد عنده سؤال؟ انا حاسة ان في حد فاتح المايك. حد عنده سؤال؟ Okay. All right, let's go ahead. So pre-recorded videos, I have recorded the pre-recorded videos twice. مرة بالEnglish بس, pure English, just 100% English, not a single word in Arabic. This is suitable for people who prefer the English or who are non-Arabic speaking, and another set of videos in Arabic. So you have to watch all of them. So you're going to watch the explanation, and then you're going to watch the classified questions. So there's questions. دي الاسئله اللي جت في الكلاسيفايد، انا شرحها كلها مشروحه. اوكي. فانت هتتفرج على الفيديوز دي قبل يوم الخميس، وطبعا هتسلم الواجب وهتحضر الاوفيس اور مع مس انجي. ايه تاني؟ دي الريكوردد فيديوز. دي ريكوردد فيديوز بتاعت السنه اللي فاتت، دي مش مهمه. انت بتاعت السنه دي هتظهر لك في الحته دي بتاعت 2021. تمام. فالحصه بتاعت النهارده مثلا هتنزل في الحته دي في الريكوردد سيشنز. حصه الخميس نفس الكلام، هتلاقيهم كلهم موجودين في under the recorded sessions. تمام. And finally, if you are studying Edexcel, you're gonna watch, there's gonna be Edexcel videos. I don't know, I cannot see it here, but oh, these are classified videos. You also have to watch them. And if you are studying Edexcel, then you have to solve the Edexcel questions, the classified questions, and also the Edexcel answers, and then watch the Edexcel videos. Okay. The explanation videos are the same because المنهجين زي بعض بالظبط. The 2 syllabi are exactly the same, but the classified is different. So you're gonna watch the classified videos. Now, I have to say that Cambridge and Edexcel, they borrow questions from each other. من حوالي 2-3 كامبريدج جابت سؤال من إدكسل. والسنه دي كامبريدج نزلت حاجه في المنهج الجديد بتاع 2023 كان بيتدرس وبيجي كتير في امتحانات ادكسل. كامبريدج بدات يظهر اكتر في كامبريدج. فالتو بوردز شبه بعض قوي. الشرح هو بس الكلاسيفايد مختلف. انا عندي ستودنتس كامبريدج وبيحلوا ادكسل، او ستودنتس ادكسل وبيحلوا كامبريدج، علشان خاطر يتاكدوا ان يعني ان هم اخذوا كل الافكار، وانه ان هم خلاص they understood the concept. All right, any questions before I move ahead? ماشي حبيبي. All right. So we talked about the office hours. We talked about the schedule, the parents' report. So you will also, I will also send you definition, a summary of all the definitions in the manhaj, a summary of all the reactions in the manhaj. What else? There's going to be a lot of and a summary of all the solids, liquids, and gases in the manhaj. So we're going to talk more about that during the year. But today we're going to talk about chapter 1. Can someone paste the web link? الwebsite يا عمر الويب سايت igcsevideos.com. اوكي igcsevideos.com. بيبو كاتب the web isn't working. افتحوا على الكروم او افتحوا على جهاز تاني. اوكي Is there any other time that we can start this course؟ لا grade 10 هيبتدوا النهارده اول يوم لgrade 10. grade 9 in September. Fatima, are there classes in 100% English? The videos are 100% English. The videos are all in English. Okay, and I repeat my explanation. Fatima, do you speak any Arabic or none? Nothing. Are you non-Arabic speaking? Just a little? Okay. Well, let's see how today goes. I'm going to speak a little Arabic today, okay? But the videos that you can watch on the website are well, there's 2, so you can choose whatever you want. All right. Okay, so all right, Fatima, thank you for being here. Great questions though. Anyone else who has any questions before we get started? Where would we submit the homework? You take a picture of every page. هتاخد صورة لكل صفحة وهتجمعه كله في one PDF وهتسلمه لمس دينا. هتسلمه لمس دينا. Ria, I'm a non-Arabic speaker. I'm so sorry, Ria. Ria, there is a course on the website that is all in English. Okay, it's all in English. I'm new here. Can anyone tell me about the instructions? أسماء في مس دينا هتحط لك لينك للأورينتيشن سيشن. اوكي فيديو ممكن تتفرجي عليه بعد الحصة والحصة دي متسجلة وهتبقى موجودة. Is the website for free? Some courses are free. كنوز بتسأل is the website. Some courses are free. Orientation. Okay, Miss Dina حطت الأورينتيشن session. So أسماء كانت بتسأل على الأورينتيشن session. ده الأورينتيشن session. All right. Okay, let's get started, everyone. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is why is chemistry important? Why are we studying chemistry? Why is it so? It is so important, of course, and I'm so biased, of course, because I love it. But I want your opinion. I want you to tell me either on the chat. Adam بيسأل, where do we send the homework? To Miss Dina on the chat on WhatsApp. All right. Okay, someone open the microphone. Please tell me. Yes, كنوز. في حد فاتح المايك؟ لو عنده سؤال يسأل. Let me stop this share. Okay.
مراجعه اخر السنه خصوصا وعندهم اسئله عن التيم so based on many questions.
ايمان اعملي ميوت يا ايمان. كلنا سامعين المحاضره اللي انت فاتحاها. شكرا يا ايمان. Thank you so much. All right. دينا ممكن تحطي رقمك. All right. So كنوز كاتبه كلام حلو قوي. كاتبه medicine production. Awesome. Yes, we احنا بندرس chemistry علشان اللي فيكم بقى هيدخل كلية صيدلة. Those of you who are going to go to pharmacy school and study pharmacy are going to study all the chemical structures of medicines. And that's what I did. I went to School of Pharmacy and I memorized the structure of all chemicals. And it's so helpful because if you become a really good chemist and you come up with a new structure of a new medicine, then you can actually change the world, right? Something like aspirin. Aspirin is just a chemical called acetyl salicylic acid, and it's used to relieve headache and pain. Antibiotics, some antibiotics are made of chemicals like penicillin, amoxicillin, and so on. And so those actually saved the world in the early, last century. And so, yes, we use it to study medications. Kunuz also said natural disasters, studying reasons for some natural disasters. Yes, so why did the natural disaster happen? What are the reasons? Predicting results of mixing substances. That's an amazing response, ya Kunuz. So if you're going to mix two things, انت هتخلط حاجتين مع بعض and you just don't know anything about it. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Just mix two things randomly, not knowing anything about it. Are you going to do that or what? No, we're not going to do that, right? Because it can be dangerous. It can actually explode your lab. So you do not want to do that. And so you want to be able to be a good chemist so you can predict what's going on. You're not going to wait until things happen and things are done and think, oh, wow, well, yeah, that's why this reaction was so aggressive. It's because cesium is so reactive. All right. Filtering water, baby food production. Yes, food production, food preservation. A lot of our food nowadays, especially مليانة preservatives. It's full of preservatives to keep the food, not getting spoiled. Tons and tons of importance for chemistry. Yes, Kunuz, that's for sure. What else? Why is chemistry so important? Some detective work. That's an excellent response because actually detective work involves a lot of chemistry, and it involves a lot of something called chromatography, which we will study in chapter 2. فرح عندك سؤال ولا المايك مفتوح بالغلط؟ If you have questions, please let me know. Feel free to unmute and ask. Helping develop life-saving cures and inventions. Those are amazing. Electrolysis. Those are amazing responses. Battery production. البطاريات اللي عندنا في البيت دي كلها chemistry. Okay. Prevent certain restrictions like rusting. That's true. Preventing rusting. لو احنا عايزين حاجة ما تصديش زي الميكروفون اللي أنا بتكلم فيه ده مش بيصدي. ليه مش بيصدي؟ لأنه معمول من ماتيريال مش بتصدي. Okay. It helps us manage our environment. في chapter كامل عن الانvironment. وفي chapter كامل عن rusting. Nuclear fission, nuclear fusion, all that stuff. What else? Making paints, making detergents, منظفات, shampoos. And I'll tell you what, if you go to your bathroom right now, everything in your bathroom is made of chemistry. Your shampoo, your detergent, your perfumes, it's made of chemicals. حد عارف البرفيومز معمولة من ايه؟ معمولة من حاجة chemical معين كده اسمه ايه؟ حد عارف؟ Alcohol is the solvent. Yes, it helps to dissolve the substance. Ibrahim, do you know? Ethanol and something else important. So the ethanol in your perfume, the purpose of the ethanol is as a solvent. بيدوب الحاجة اللي انت عايزها. بس ايه الحاجة اللي ريحتها حلوة؟ الايثانول ريحته مش حلوة على فكرة. ايه الحاجة اللي ريحتها حلوة اللي موجودة في البرفيومز؟ نوع الكيميكال، اسم الكيميكال. برافو يا اسماء، شاطرة ممتازة. It's esters، حاجة اسمها esters. Let me share the screen and so we can get started with the screen. Okay. So أسماء قالت esters, and yes, this is the name of group من الكيميكالز اسمه esters. اوكي. وده بنستخدمه في البرفيومز. ده هناخده في chapter 14 مش دلوقتي. اوكي. شكلك يا كنوز بتحبي الكيمستري. انا مبسوطه قوي. اوكي. سو كل دي حاجات بنستخدمها في الكيمستري. عارفين ايه كمان بيحتاج الكيمستري او بيحتاج شويه knowledge of chemistry؟ التويز والتكنولوجي. لو بصيت في التويز اللي عندك في البيت، لو عندك تادلرز صغيرين في البيت، اخوات صغيرين، وبصيت في التويز بتاعتهم هتلاقي في حاجات كتيره فيها كيمستري. انا عايزاك بقى ايه الهوم ورك بتاعك المره دي الاسبوع ده. I want you to watch and observe the toys and the devices you have at home. Yes, plastic. Kunuz started writing. So other than plastic, what else? I want you to think about it, observe it, and next time tell me what are those things in toys that involve chemicals. All right. I'm not going to talk about it. Next time we're going to talk about it. All right. So chemistry is basically, and what I really wanted to say is that if you are a good chemist, لو انت شاطر كده وراجل chemistry شاطر وفاهم الكيميكالز بتاعتك. Oh my God, Kunuz said something amazing. She said slime. عارفين اللعبة السلايم اللي طلعت في الكام سنة الأخرانيين؟ It's all made of chemistry. All right. So that's a great, some toys are made of polymers. That's right. We're going to study about that in chapter 14. And polymers are yes, that's right, Ria. Play-Doh is made of certain mixture of chemicals مخلوطة بطريقة معينة. Lithium batteries, of course, التويز اللي فيها batteries محتاجين chemistry. Oh my God, Rawan, you are reading my mind. Rawan, that's an excellent, it's an awesome response. الماجيك ساند، حد قبل كده لعب بالماجيك ساند؟ برضو حاجه ما كانتش موجوده وانا صغيره، لا وانا طفله ما كانش في ماجيك ساند. احنا كنا عشان نلعب بالساند لازم نروح البيتش ونلعب بالساند، مش كده؟ دلوقتي في حاجه اسمها ماجيك ساند. It is so cool. It's not messy and it's I don't know, it's like it's water repellent and it's really so cool. And the way they do magic sand is they coat the sand particles with a certain chemical. Look it up on Google. What is that chemical? It has a really long name, like 14 letters, but it's so awesome. Glass time with mercury and water, paints and colors, amazing responses. You guys are so, I mean, oh my God, you are so smart. So if you are a good chemist and if you understand chemistry very well, you can, you know, create a new product and change the world, right? You can entertain people, entertain kids. You can make things faster and more, you know, effective for people. Thermometer, Bibu, thank you very much. Bibu, is that your name? What's your real name? Because my son's nickname is Bibo, but his real name is Ibrahim. You may even help with pandemics. Of course, when the pandemic came up, all the chemists came to create a vaccine, right? All the biochemists wanted to create a vaccine that will not kill, but prevent the pandemic, all right? So sterilization, Ahmed, thank you very much. Those are amazing responses. So chemistry is basically the study of what? Who knows? What is like it is the study of chemicals, okay? And what
Matter.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Fatma. Thank you very much, Asma. It's the study of matter. يعني ايه matter? Matter حاجات ممسوكة ملموسة، حاجات physical, things that we can touch physically, things that can have weight. Okay, ممكن نوزنها. Things that occupy space. Okay, بتاخد مساحة, بتاخد space. And this is really different than physics, because physics is the study of حاجات invisible كده. It's the study of waves, study of light, study of energy, study of rules, study of force, study of I don't know, acceleration, speed, right? It's the study of things that do not have a weight. It doesn't have gravity. Thank you, Ibrahim. It, you know, doesn't occupy space, right? Energy doesn't take space. It's just everywhere. I mean, this room I'm sitting in is full of energy, but it doesn't occupy space, right? And it doesn't have a weight. يعني ما ينفعش اجيب شوية energy واحطها على الميزان واقول ايه ده الله الانرجي دي بتوزن 20 kilograms. That doesn't happen, right? So that's the study of physics. احنا ملناش دعوة بيه. احنا في الchemistry. Chemistry is the study of matter, everything that has a weight, everything that occupies space. So there are 3 states of matter. أنا متأكدة إن كلكم عارفين، بس يعني خلينا نسأل what are the 3 states of matter?
Solid, liquid, gas.
حبيب قلبي أنت عندك كام سنة يا قمر؟
7 years old.
يا عسل. أنا مبسوطة إن أنت بتحضر درس كيمستري لناس عندها 14 سنة، ما شاء الله. أنا كمان عندي، لا أنا ما عنديش 7، أنا عندي 6 و mine is 6 years old, 9 and 11. alright, so زي ما الكتكوت العسل ما قال، مش عارفة اسمه ايه، إبراهيم ولا أخو إبراهيم، هو قال إن احنا عندنا 3 states of matter and these are solid, liquid and gas. طيب بنعرف ازاي ان الحاجة اللي قدامنا دي solid ولا liquid ولا gas? Just by looking at something, how do you know if it's a solid, a liquid or a gas?
Its shape or its volume.
برافو يا روان. By looking at it, its shape and its volume can tell us if it's by its appearance. طبعا عمر says by its appearance. ليه؟ لأن من واحنا صغيرين خلاص عرفنا إن الحاجات اللي احنا بنمسكها، الحاجات اللي does not flow، ما بتتزحلقش، دي solid. حاجة ليها fixed shape, fixed volume, it doesn't flow, that's a solid. Which syllabus are we learning? IGCSE, Bilal. We're learning IGCSE syllabus, Cambridge and Edexcel. Okay. So solid, بنقدر نفرق. We can recognize the difference between solid, liquid, and gas from the outside. And of course, in chemistry, we're going to study things from the outside and also from the inside. Okay, so from the outside, we know the difference between solid, liquid, and gas by their shape and their volume. وطبعا احنا while we were growing up, we just, recognized that solids do not flow. Liquids flow, like, this water. I mean, if I just shake this bottle, it flows, right? It بيتزحلق كده وبيجري. That's liquid. And then gas, what do we, like, how do we know this is gas? How do we know that the air we breathe is gas?
have neither a doesn't
Hassan
have
بيقول
neither
it's usually not visible. That's right. A lot of gases are transparent. They do not have they're colorless. All right. No volume. That's correct. They don't have a volume. It has no fixed volume or shape. Ria, excellent response. Gases just fill. They go everywhere. All right. If you open the window, the gas will go out. If you open a bottle that has a gas, the gas will go out. All right. And yeah, Neda, Hussein, bravo. These are all excellent responses. So the solids have fixed shape. All right. Things that you have to learn, and sometimes you are asked about it in the exam, is that solids have fixed shape. Liquids do not have fixed shape, but they take the shape of the container. Okay, so if I have a liquid in a bottle, it's going to take the shape of the bottle. If I have liquid in a, I don't know, like a halla, it's going to take the shape of that pot. If I put it in a toy, it's going to take the shape of the toy, and so on. And the gas, they also fill the whole container. All right. So there's a table in page 3. This table is important to understand, but do not memorize it. ما تقعدش تروح تحفظ الجدول. Okay. Next is the volume. عايز ايه؟ لا, I cannot follow you. I have a class. I'm sorry. روح لبابا. Next is volume. So volume, solids have fixed volume, as you all have said. What about volume of liquid? What about volume of liquid?
they do have a fixed volume.
They do have a fixed volume. So this water, I would say maybe this is maybe a 70 centimeters cube of water or something. Before I started drinking the water, it was 500 ml, about 500 centimeters cube. So oh, just 1 second, okay. All right. And so liquid have specific volumes, they have fixed volumes. And then what about gas? Because gas is a bit tricky.
Indefinite volume and
Indefinite. Bravo عليك. So the volume of gases depend on the temperature. If it's in a closed place, if it's an open place, هيروح كل حتة. The gas will just move all over the place. So it's not fixed. And even if you close a container with the gas, it's going to take a specific volume depending on the temperature. And we're going to study this more in chapter 4. And we're going to study it also more and more and more in the AS chemistry. All right. And Omar, of course, it depends on pressure and it depends on temperature, both things that we will study more in chapter 4 and chapter chapter 4 and the AS chemistry. All right. So those are things that are different. This is how we differentiate between solid, liquid, and gas in terms of shape and volume. Now we also have to differentiate between solid, liquid, and gas from the inside. Okay, so الانسايد بتاع أي matter في الدنيا. احنا اتكلمنا إن chemistry is the study of matter. So how do the matter look from the inside? هم معمولين من إيه? What are things made of?
particles.
منا ده grade 10 وgrade 9 هيبقى الشهر الجاي. Yes, Minna, thank you very much. They're made of particles, okay? So all substances are made of particles. يعني أنا لو جبت الورقة دي وأخدت منها حتة صغيرة, if I just cut it really, really small pieces and I take a piece of paper that you cannot even see on the camera, I can see it, but you guys cannot see it. لو أخدت حتة صغيرة كده, this piece of paper that you can hardly see has how many particles approximately تقريبا? بالضبط, millions. Exactly. Thank you, Ria. It has millions of particles, and lots and lots and lots of particles. They are so small that we cannot see it in with our eyes, right? We need a microscope, a really sophisticated microscope. All right. So particles. Now in chapter 3, which is a very, very entertaining chapter, you're gonna love it. We're gonna study that these particles can be of 3 kinds. All right, they can be of 3 kinds. What are the 3 أنا شفت بعض الناس كتبوا what are those 3 kinds of particles. هم ايه بقى؟ معمولين من ايه؟ البارتيكلز دي ممكن تكون ايه؟ حاجة هناخدها في chapter we're going to study in chapter 3.
Atoms.
Thank you very much. They can be made of atoms or or elements. Yes, but elements so elements is like one kind of atom. We're going to talk about that in chapter 3, or molecules or ions. Okay,
Ions.
these particles can be made of atoms or molecules or ions. That's not our story today. We're going to study that later in chapter 3, but today we're going to talk about particles. We're going to say particles are, you know, like how they're separated, how they're arranged, and so on. So in the exam, what do the IGCSE folks and examiners like to ask on exam papers? They like to ask about the structure. All right, how would you draw it? They like to ask about the separation of particles. They like to ask about what else? They like to ask about arrangement of particles, and they like to ask about movement. Those are the 3 famous questions that appear lots and lots of times on the exams. And motion. All right. So let's talk about the structure. If you were asked on the exam to draw the structure of solid, how would you draw it?
Tightly packed circles with a regular movement.
برافو عليك يا روان. Rowan said, Rowan, am I saying your name correctly? بنطقه صح?
Yes, Rawan.
Excellent. All right. So the structure of solid, زي ما روان ما قالت, these are particles regularly arranged and tightly packed. كلهم لازقين في بعض. They're like all tightly packed. All right. Very close to each other. Yes. All right. So that's the solid. Liquid. How does the liquid look like? Can someone open the mic like Rowan did? And برافو يا كنزي. ممتازة. برافو الاثنين اللي جاوبوا. The 2 people who opened the mic, excellent responses. They're loosely packed, all right? They're not tightly packed. They are random and they are close to each other. Some of them will touch each other, so they're touching, okay? Now, in regards to the gas, go ahead. مين اللي فتح المايك؟ إبراهيم؟
slightly away from each other, like they're separated.
Excellent. انت بتتكلم عن الليكويد ولا الجاز؟
Liquid.
Liquid, they are loosely packed, مش tightly packed زي ما انت قلت. كنوز, could you please allow me to unmute? You can unmute yourself, right? Just click unmute. Kunuz, anybody can unmute, I think. All right, so in regards to gas, what about gas?
Gases
particles
are
move
very
freely
hard.
of their position. They can move
Bravo,
freely and they
Yamaz.
have really large gaps between each other.
Excellent response, Gaz. Muaz, who else talked about the gas on the mic?
I did.
Yes, go ahead.
So gases are far apart and like randomly separated.
Excellent. Ria, how do you say your name? How should I pronounce it?
Ria is fine.
Ria is fine. Okay. Ria, where are you from?
I'm from Singapore.
Singapore. Excellent. All right. That's nice. All right. So like Ria said, and like Muaz said, and like Kunuz, Yahya, everyone said on the chat here. Kunuz says, should I leave and rejoin? It's really up to you. I don't want you to miss anything, but yeah, you can try and see what's going on with the mic, but you should be able to unmute yourself. Everybody here was able to unmute themselves. So it's strange that you were not able to do that. Let me find you here So I'm going to ask you to unmute. Let's try that. It's not working. So yeah, you may try to leave and come back. All right. So like everyone said here on the chat, the particles are so far apart. They're like all over the place. They're like one particle here, one particle there, one particle there. They're so far. Okay. Now I have a question. For example, if we're talking about water in solid state, liquid state, and gas state, is the size of water molecule, does it change when the state changes?
No.
No, it doesn't.
No, I
Why?
don't think so.
Yeah, they don't. Why? Why? If we're talking about water, for example, so water, what's the formula of water?
H2O.
H2O, right? So H2O in solid state is H2O. In liquid state, it's also H2O. In gas state, it's also H2O. So it's always 3 atoms. It's not going to magically become 3 atoms or 4 atoms or 15 atoms, right? It's always 3 atoms. So the size of the particle never changes. If you draw a circle that is kind of small in solid state, then it should be the same size here, and it should be also the same size here. Why did I ask this question? لأن مرة once on the exams in the multiple choice, they asked if the size changes. All right, so it doesn't change. What changes is the distance between particles. Go ahead, Moaz.
The size of the particle doesn't change, it's the molecular space, right?
It's the distance between particles. It's the separation between particles. All right, not the size of the particle, not the radius of the particle, nothing else. Okay, so the particle stays the same. It's how separated they are from each other. All right. Okay, next is the separation. Sometimes on the exams, they will ask about the separation of particles. How separated are they? So in solid, are they separated at all?
No, they have
No.
small holes.
None. So what's the key word that you have to write on the IGCSE?
Tightly packed.
Tightly packed. ممتاز. مين اللي
Tightly
منا؟ برافو يا منا. It's tightly packed. Okay, الناس اللي مش بتكتب في الشات, some people are not participating on the chat or on the mic. Muhammad Hatem, I want you to participate more, especially on the chat, because it's so easy to write, right? Yara, Ibrahim, Yahya, Yusuf, Man, all please participate more. I want to see your man. Thank you so much. Ali, Kinsey, Ria, Nada, awesome. You guys are amazing. All right, so with solid, we're going to say tightly packed. With liquid, Abdullah just
Slightly
joined.
far.
Packed
They're slightly
closely.
far.
Loosely packed. Exactly. You're going to
Loosely
say they
packed.
are
Not
loosely
tightly
packed.
packed.
Or not tightly packed. You're going to just say loosely packed. All right. And with gas, what are you going to say?
Randomly or
Far
Very
apart.
far.
far apart each
Random
other.
ولا far؟
Randomly moving.
واحدة منهم
Random.
صح واحدة منهم
Far apart.
far. If they ask about separation, you're going to
Farther
say
apart.
far. If you say random, you're not going to take the, you're not
You're
going to
saying
earn
the
the
movement.
mark. Yeah, it's arrangement. If they ask about the arrangement, then you're going to say if it's regular or random. بس لو قلت
Regular.
far, لو قلت random على ال separation هينقصك. Okay, فخد بالك. So you're going to say far because the separation, how separated they are so far apart. Okay, now next is the arrangement. How are the particles arranged? Are they like مرتبين منظمين? They're like on layers and layers, or
Solids
just
are
like
regularly arranged.
solid or
Solid
regular?
particles form a lattice.
Exactly. Yes, they do form a lattice. However, ya Muaz, in this question, if it only asks about arrangement of a solid, you're going to just say regularly arranged. All right. What about liquid?
They're irregular.
Thank you, Sundus. Thank you, Yahya. They are randomly arranged. Okay, they're like all like haphazardly moving. They don't have a specific arrangement. And then with gas, they are
Same goes
also
as gas.
Irregular and random.
exactly. They're also randomly arranged. Okay. Now, in regards, the third thing that the examiner may ask you is motion. How do they move? So God created everything in the world.
For solid is vibration.
برافو يا كنوز برافو يا معاذ ممتازين excellent وانا شايفه على الشات ما شاء الله it's excellent responses here. Yes, in solid particles They don't move, but they vibrate. They're like all the time. Okay, so they do vibrate. And thank you, Yasmin. Excellent. Ali, Ria, Adam. And with liquid, what do they do?
Slide past
slide
each
Yeah,
past
other.
yeah, yeah,
each
slide
other.
over each other.
Yes, they slide over each other. They slide over each other. Over each other, and they move slowly. They're slow. They're still lazy. I mean, they're not lazy, but they're moving and they're like hanging out and they're slow. All right. And then the third one with gas,
Gas
They
freely.
Move freely and fast.
they move freely and fast. Okay, they move freely and fast. And those of you who attended the orientation session in June 27th, I talked about how particles in solid, liquid, and gas are very similar to people, to human being, right? How are they similar to human beings? So in solid, it's like people sitting in a classroom and they're like studying, they're not moving, they're not leaving their chairs, they're just sitting and they're just, you know, vibrating, writing or whatever. Okay. In liquid, it's like teenagers going to the mall and just moving around, like sliding over each other. They're moving slowly. They're not fast. They're not running, but they're like moving around. Okay. In the mall, for example. The third one, the gas, reminds you of who? What type of people are similar to gas? Toddlers, okay, those nasty people. Okay, so I don't mean nasty people, but I mean they're so energetic. They move very quickly, and they're all over the place. If you leave them in the outside, oh my god, you cannot catch them, you cannot keep up with them, right? So those are the toddlers. Now the motion is very related to another concept, which is energy. All right. So examiners do not ask very much about the energy of solid, liquid, and gas, but this concept is very important for later. It's important for chapter 6 and 7. Okay. So I want to mention it here. Sarah is online. Welcome, welcome. Sarah is actually one of my 2019 students. She used to study with me 2 years ago, and she is amazing. She became such an expert in chemistry لدرجة إن هي كانت بتشرح لزميلاتها المنهج. ما شاء الله عليها. She is amazing. All right, so the energy of particles. Now, solids are just sitting in their places. They're not moving. What do you think their energy level is? Oh, Sarah, I miss you so much.
It's very low kinetic energy.
عمر، معاذ، كنوز، مين تاني؟ خالد، سلمى. Excellent يا سلمى. سندس، حسام، يحيى. برافو عليكم. Excellent. These are great responses. They have low kinetic energy. They're not moving. They're lazy. They're sitting and settling and they're happy with their places. All right. What about, Ro'a is saying old people, like they're sitting and they're not energetic and they're just vibrating. Thank you, Ro'a. All right. What about liquid? How is the energy level?
Medium.
Medium.
It's not a much. It's not
Habiba, Rawan, Muaz, Yusuf, Yasmin, Hussein, Mumtazin. It's medium. They do have some energy, a little more than the solid. And then what about gas? Remember, those are the toddlers. Energy.
Yeah, they have very high energy.
They have very, very high energy and they're speeding and they're boom, 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 boom. They're all over the place. Okay. حبيبي اسمك ايه يا قمر؟ انت قلت لي اسمك وانا نسيت. اسمك ايه؟ إبراهيم. عسل يا إبراهيم. Thank you so much يا إبراهيم. فعلا they do have a lot of energy يا إبراهيم. عاملين زيك كده. انت اخبارك ايه؟ اخبار الانرجي بتاعتك ايه يا إبراهيم؟ كتير ولا قليل؟ A lot. Just like me, I have a lot of, I'm old, but I have a lot of energy. All right, so the next concept is attractive forces. All right, now the attractive forces is a bit related to the separation of particles, okay? A little related to separation of particles. So I want you to remember how particles are separated when thinking about attractive forces. Now, remember, in solid, they're tightly packed. Do you think the particles D like strongly attracted together? Do you think the attractive forces between there's attractive forces between each particle and the next one? Are they strong attractive forces or weak attractive forces?
I think they have
Strong.
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 Yes, strong attractive forces. And that's why there are tightly packed. لأن الارتباط ما بينهم, they're like so attracted to each other. In liquid, there is some attractive forces between those particles, but it's still strong, but it's not as strong as solid. Okay, still strong. Okay, هنا the strongest. What about gas? Do you think
Very low.
there is any attractive forces between particles? Very
No,
weak.
very weak.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Yes, very weak. Why? Because the particles are so far. If they were strong, they would be close to each other, but they're so far. They don't want, like, they're not attracted to each other. So that's why the attractive forces here is weak, and we're going to study that more about that next time and in chapter 6 also. Okay, all right, so that was it in regards to the table on page 3. You have to understand the table. Again, I do not want you to memorize this. You guys are amazing. You understand it. You're going to write it on your own. Take a picture, submit it on the WhatsApp to Miss Dina on the private. This is one of your homework. This is the worksheet. Now, next, we want to talk about compressibility. Compressibility. Yes.
Miss, I have a question. Where could I get this worksheet of the homework?
Everything is on the website. Everything is on the website. And اسمك ايه؟ لوجين?
Yeah, it's called Lojane.
Okay, Lujain, I want you to be on the WhatsApp group. There's a group for the class, for the students. Okay, so I want you to be on the group because then you can ask, like, where can I find this? Where can I get this? And we can post it for you. Okay. And
Miss, how could I join that group?
املي الفورم. دينا ممكن تحطي الريجستريشن فورم. حطي الريجستريشن فورم، اللينك بتاع الريجستريشن فورم على الشات. دينا هتحط لكم الريجستريشن فورم على الشات. and then لوجين وهنا واسماء وكل الناس اللي سالت على الماتيريالز, you just fill the form. Dina's gonna add you to the group, and then you can guys talk to each other. You can text Dina about the enrolling in the class and everything. Okay, you can ask Dina about how to join and everything, but the registration form is really important so that Dina can contact you and get in touch with you. All right, okay. Ahmed بيسأل what's the website link? It's www.igcsevideos.com. igcsevideos.com. All right, now let's talk about the compressibility of solid, liquid, and gas. Can solids be compressed? Can you do that?
No, it can't be.
You can't compress a solid
Can't be compressed.
يحيى, ليه? Why?
because the particles are already tightly packed. There's no distance between them for you to decrease it.
Exactly. Yahya told us that particles are already tightly packed. How can you squish them any more than that? You cannot. Okay, you simply cannot. All right, what about liquid? Can you compress liquid? Yeah, it's really hard to compress liquid.
But hard.
It's very hard, and you're gonna just say on the exam, you're gonna just say no. Right? They're not compressible. Okay. What about gas? Can you compress gas?
Yes, pretty much.
Yes. Bravo ya Sundus. Bravo ya Nouri. Nouri or Noure. I don't know how to say it. Hassan, Ibrahim, Ria. Yeah, so Ria said sponges contain air, and that's why you can compress the sponge, السفنجة. All right. Ahmed, Basant, Ma'an, Ali, excellent job, everyone. So in gas, yes, they can be compressed. Now, the fact that gases can be compressed is very helpful in real life. Can someone tell me a real life example why?
Compressing oxygen into tanks so divers can go underwater.
ممتاز يا معاذ. We compress oxygen into tanks or into gas cylinders. And why is this helpful, ya Muaz, or anybody? If you can tell me, why is it helpful to compress oxygen into little containers and well, basically to store it into small spaces, right? You don't want to store oxygen in rooms and rooms and rooms, right? You want to store it in small places. But why is oxygen helpful? What would you use oxygen cylinders for?
So people can like breathe underwater, because basically there's oxygen in the water, but you can't breathe through.
Divers, yes, you can breathe underwater. This is helpful for divers. You can sell those to divers. Who else?
So you need the gas itself to breathe in.
For
Our
medical
extinctors.
uses and the operations and all these things, we can't breathe sometimes. So, or we were having some breath constriction. So,
when excellent. We need oxygen in hospitals for patients. برضو في حد هنا قال astronauts. Ali said astronauts, رواد الفضاء, anybody who's going to space was gonna need oxygen cylinders. Yes.
Can it also be used for like an aircraft, like an unpressurized aircraft?
Yeah, in airplanes, if something, God forbid, happens. Plus, also, you may need it in high altitudes because the oxygen is less in high altitudes. In people who
We can also like compress gas, because like when we compress it, the volume, or like there's more pressure, so it causes the gas particles to come closer together.
Excellent. So I was going to talk about pressure. So just give me 1 second and I will talk about the pressure, which is an important topic for the IGCSE. And Diara said climbing mountains with high altitude. That's right. In high altitudes, the oxygen amount decreases and you may actually need oxygen cylinders. Basant also said you can compress carbon dioxide and use it as a fire extinguisher. Omar, thank you very much. Those are all amazing. Now, Viditi said something really important. She said that when we compress a gas, so for example, this is oxygen at regular container. And I decided that I'm going to compress it. Why? Because I want to store it in a small place so that I can use it in hospitals, for divers, for astronauts, for high altitudes, all that place. And I decided to compress it like that. Okay. Now remember, particles move all the time. We just said إنه particles عمالة بتتحرك طول الوقت. They're constantly moving in liquid and in gas. Solid, no. And so because particles are moving all the time, they actually sometimes do what? They sometimes collide. They sometimes hit each other, right? I mean, they're just moving and moving and moving, and sometimes boom, 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 they collide with each other, okay? If you forgot the word collide, you can say they hit each other, they bombard each other. بس أنا بحب كلمة collide. I like the word collide more. All right, so they keep colliding with each other. Same thing with gas. They also sometimes would move, and then boom, collide with another particle, and then change direction. And so particles here, imagine if this is a gas and these are the particles, they're so far, right? And then I decided to store it in a smaller volume. So what I did is that I decreased the volume. So these 4 particles that I just drew in this box are compressed in this small space. So what happened to the distance of the particles?
it decreased.
It decreased. Okay, so when I decreased the volume, the particles got closer together. Now, when they got closer together, do you think they will collide more or collide less?
Yes, they'll collide more.
Yes, the pressure can increase.
Exactly. So this container A, this is container A, container B. Container A, they keep colliding with the walls, they keep colliding with each other, and they keep doing boom.
But at a slower rate.
Boom, boom, they keep colliding with the wall. But in container B, because they got closer together, they're like boom, 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 boom. They keep colliding with the wall more frequently. So they collide with the wall more frequently. Now, when the collisions with the wall is more frequent, we call it what? We say that what is high?
Pressure.
Bravo, Ali.
Higher pressure.
Excellent. The pressure increase. Okay, so now it has high pressure. Why? Because everything is in there's a lot of things in a small place. Like if you say it's بالعربي in Arabic it's like أنا مضغوط، إحنا ضغطناه. عارف أنت لما بتقول أنا مضغوط يعني إيه أنا مضغوط؟ يعني عليا مذاكرة كتير في وقت صغير. Okay? If you say I'm pressured, I feel pressured, I have a lot of things to do in a very short time. Or I have high blood pressure. What does high blood pressure mean? It means your blood vessels have a lot of fluid in a very small space. So that's the meaning of high pressure, is that there's a lot of particles in a small place, and it causes the hitting and the colliding to be more frequent. How does the question appear in the exam? It's usually worth 2 points, and the question says why container B has high pressure. What are you going to say? And it's worth 2 points.
Smaller volume. Or less
Smaller volume.
More frequent collisions.
More frequent collisions.
The area is less.
Area is less. ماشي، ما هي area is less هي نفس low volume. شكرا يا سارة. سارة، حسين، أحمد. Bravo. So there's 2 things that you have to say. It's very important. When pressure increases, when volume decreases, particles get closer together. This is really important to say. Particles get closer together. Therefore, particles collide with the wall more frequently. This is how you earn 2 points. Particles get closer together. This is 1 point. Particles collide more frequently with the wall. This is the second point. Okay, so if you are asked, and tomorrow in the office hour with Miss Inji will ask you this question. I gave her 15 questions, and she will be asking you randomly. One of the questions is why decreasing the volume increases the pressure. If you don't say those 2 points, you don't earn 2 points. Kunuz, you have a question. Faddali.
But how can we use this tank in high altitudes? And we've studied that pressure decreases in high altitudes, and with that high pressure, the pressure, the internal pressure and external pressure won't be equal, and I guess that will cause the tank to disperse or something like that.
Time to disperse? Time?
Like this tank.
The external pressure in the atmosphere.
Okay.
As if you go up to a summit of a mountain, the pressure might be too much, so the tank itself might disperse. So
is it high or low? Is the pressure in high altitudes higher or lower?
It is actually lower. That's what I studied.
Actually lower.
Yes, it's lower. It's lower. بس على فكرة كنوز, this part is not in the IGCSE syllabus. I'm pretty sure you're gonna study it in physics. I mean, I studied IGCSE physics like in the 90s, very old time ago, but yeah, this part specifically, like does the pressure increasing? It decreases, but we don't really have to study this in chemistry. What we really need to understand in chemistry is that we use compressed gas for something like oxygen cylinders, for astronauts, for divers, for basically divers, astronauts in hospitals. That's where we use oxygen the most, especially in the hospitals. So again, the relationship between pressure and volume, if you were asked on the exam why decreasing the volume increases the pressure, you're going to say because when you decrease volume, particles get closer together, بيقربوا من بعض. Therefore, they collide with the wall more frequently. بيخبطوا في الحيطة more frequently. Okay? عمر تمام، لجين تمام، بسنت، كنوز، ياسمين، محمد حاتم ايه الأخبار؟ معا، يوسف، يحيى، إبراهيم، يارا، كله تمام؟ All right. Now, هسألكوا بقى شوية أسئلة كده. I'm gonna ask you a few questions. Really tough, but I know you guys can do it. I mean, look at the questions we're having. Sarah Fadalat, it's a pleasure to attend a small part of the session. Thank you so much for accepting. Sarah حبيبة قلبي, I love you so much and I miss you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. I mean, it's so nice to see an older student come and join like newer classes, but thank you so much. Let's talk after the session. I'll get in touch with you. All right, so my next question for you is why does increasing temperature increases pressure? When you increase temperature,
they gain more kinetic energy, therefore they move more fastly.
Rawan, can you say again, Rawan?
Because vibratory motion increases and they gain energy, so the pressure is increasing.
برافو عليكم، ممتازة يا سارة، فرج، حسين، more kinetic energy، أحمد. حسام, do they get closer together? Okay, the question again يا معن السؤال بيقول why when you increase temperature, pressure increases. Now, if I increase temperature, the size of the container doesn't increase. You know, the volume is the same, all right? Number of particles is the same. Everything is the same. A is cool, all right? B is hot. تمام? So A, what happens in B? Ria, excellent. Selma, because perfect response, ya Salma. Perfect response, Kunuz. So when you increase temperature, what happens is that particles move fast, okay? In A, particles are cool, so they're moving slowly, randomly but slowly. So in A, they're like boom, 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 right? They're just colliding, but كل فين وفين, every now and then they're gonna collide. In B, they're like boom, 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 because they're so fast, they're so energetic. All right. So the answer to the question, if you were asked on the exam, why increasing temperature increases pressure, you're gonna say, and it's usually 2 points, you're gonna say particles have more kinetic energy, and therefore they collide, therefore they move faster, and therefore they collide more with the wall more frequently, okay? And it's usually, again, same thing, worth 2 points. You have to say they have more kinetic energy, they move faster, and therefore they collide with the wall more frequently, okay? What is a real life example for increasing temperature and therefore increasing pressure? Something that we do at home.
If temperature increase, pressure increase?
Yes, if you close the space يا عمر, because عايزة أجاوب بس على عمر بسرعة. عمر, if you increase the temperature and leave the gas سبته كده مفتوح, okay, you didn't close it in a container, then it's gonna just move and the pressure will not increase. I'm talking about a closed container. And that's why لما البارتيكلز بتبقى سريعة, they hit the wall more frequently, okay? كنوز اتفضلي, what's your question?
Well, I was just saying that temperature and pressure are both directly proportional.
Yes, directly proportional. Excellent. Ahmed Sharif said hot air balloons. Yes, in hot air balloons, you increase the temperature and therefore the pressure increases. But there's another example inside our house. قربت يا حسين. برافو عليك. يوسف قربت برضو. You guys are amazing. Have you ever dealt with the pressure cooker in your kitchen? عارفين ال pressure cooker? What do we call it in Arabic? We call it حلة ضغط, حلة بريستو. احنا المصريين بنقول عليها حلة بريستو, right? So what happens? Yes, we cook rice in it, we cook meat in it. Hussein is like, what? Okay, so Hussein, there's something called pressure cooker. This is a cooker at home that we put on the stove. All right, I'm gonna draw a really silly stove here, and this is your pressure cooker. And what happens is that it's really tightly packed. It doesn't allow any of the, this is your food, okay, and these are the gas particles here. There's air, of course, right? There's air over here, صح? And you're cooking, and it's tightly packed. It doesn't allow the gas to go outside at all. It's that's why it's called pressure cooker. And what happens is that you keep heating and heating, you know, you're cooking the food, so you're heating, and the temperature keeps rising and rising and rising. And what happens when the temperature rises?
Pressure increases.
Excellent. When the temperature increases, particles move faster and they collide with the walls more frequently, and therefore pressure increases. It increases pressure. And those of you اللي دخلوا المطبخ, those of you who had dealt with a pressure cooker before, Can you, as soon as you stop cooking, can you open the lid right away, or you have to wait until the food is cool? Yeah, no, you have to wait. Why? Bravo, Omar. Ria, excellent. Basant, excellent. Khalid, yes, you do have to wait. Why? Because if you don't wait, this gas inside here is at high pressure, right? مضغوطين. They're like all, oh my God, this space is so small. We're so pressured, right?
As soon as you lift the lid, the gas is just gonna leave and it's like an explode.
Muaz explained it so well. As soon as you lift the lid, the gas will do what? They're gonna be, whoa, oh, okay, finally, let's go out. And they're gonna go out so quickly. And guess what? This gas is at very, very high temperature. It's like at 110 degrees C. What is it gonna cause? Basant said it's gonna cause some burns. If it came on your, actually I did this before and I burnt my arm because I opened the lid and it was still not cold. And Ahmed is saying it's like a volcanic eruption. Exactly. This is gas is pressured. And if you release it, it's going to be like, oh, it's going to escape very quickly. Okay. Now that was one question. I have another question for you. Why balloons burst if you keep on blowing? لو نفخت البالونة زيادة قوي قوي قوي, it's going to burst.
Pressure is too high, so it basically explodes. It
So-
cannot handle anymore.
The particles have no more room to move in.
It's not about no more room, it's about the pressure. So when you keep putting more air, you're gonna have so many particles, and these particles are doing what?
They collide with the wall.
Yes, they collide with the wall.
مدي sentence jail.
بتقول ايه يا حسين؟ All right, so next, so أنا لما when my son comes to me and he's like, blow the balloon, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna blow the balloon. I blow the balloon, and he's like, more, and I blow more, and he's like, more, and I blow more, and he's like, more, and I keep blowing more and more, and then I tell him it's gonna burst, honey. I mean, it's gonna هتفرقع, and he's like, no, more, and then it bursts, and then he cries, and I'm like, I told you. So what happens is that زي ما انتوا قلتوا على الchat, particles move randomly. And they collide with the inner walls of the balloon more frequently, so the pressure is high. Why did the pressure increase? Because we have introduced more air, more gas. Okay.
Miss?
Yes.
Miss, does pressure increase temperature? Or is it only just a temperature increases pressure?
Okay, that's a very good question, ya Ahmed. What you're going to be asked is, what happens when you increase temperature? And you're going to say, if it's in a closed container, it's going to increase pressure. Okay. Now, if you...
That's like the gas cylinder. It contains...
Gas cylinder? It contains gas under high pressure. Yeah. Temperature, يا أحمد, دي حاجة إحنا بنتحكم في. يعني, if you increase temperature, the question will come إزاي? What happens to pressure when you increase temperature? هتقول له إيه أحمد? What happens to pressure when you increase temperature?
Increase.
Yes, pressure will increase. What happens to pressure if you add more air into a specific container? هتقول له إيه?
Increase.
Pressure increase. تمام. What else? Yeah, those are the very two common questions. Is that, what happens when you decrease volume, Ahmed?
Increase work.
Pressure increase. بالضبط. دي الأسئلة اللي بتيجي. And not that they only ask you what happens to pressure, they also ask you why. So you know how to respond to these questions?
Yes.
Yes. So decreasing volume is going to do that. Increasing temperature is going to do that. These are 2 points on the exam. Ria, you have a question. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So is that why, like, when they ask, I've seen like one question before when they said, when you let go of a balloon, you should let, like, there was a balloon filled with helium, so they should let the helium out as it rises to prevent it from bursting.
As it rises to what?
As the balloon rises, then you should let the helium out to prevent the balloon from bursting.
You know why?
Because the difference in pressure between inside the balloon and the atmospheric pressure.
Yes, and then there's another thing with helium. Helium, do you know anything about it? So can you tell me on the chat, everyone, what's really unique and specific about helium gas?
It's a noble gas.
It's what? It's a noble gas, but there's something. Yes.
It's lighter than normal air.
It's the least dense gas.
Yasmin, Rawan, Kunuz, Basant, Muaz, excellent responses. It's light. It's light. It's less dense than air. خفيف جدا. So it rises up. Okay. And that's why we make birthday balloons with helium, because they stand up, right? Like there. But if you let go of a helium balloon, which my kids have done a lot and they cried, what happens? They like go all the way to the atmosphere, right? It's lost. Now I have one more question, and it's a bit harder question, but you guys are amazing. I'm pretty sure you can make it. When you, if you're riding a car, okay, and of course these tires need to be لازم تكون منفوخة بالهواء and needs to be in under high pressure of air, right? There's high pressure inside the tire. Same thing with a bicycle. If I'm riding a bicycle or riding a car, I have to make sure that my tires are all filled up with air at a high pressure and everything is good, right? If the pressure decreases, the tires become flappy and you cannot ride, right? Okay, so if the temperature of if the weather is very, very cold, you have to go to the gas station and fill more air into your tire. Why?
Because
when the temperature decreases,
the
the
particles
pressure
move more slower, because the temperature already affects the pressure of the particles in the tire.
The molecules lose their kinetic energy.
Excellent responses. معاذ وكنوز ويحيى وحبيبة وعلي لجين حنين. Excellent. حسام, bravo عليكم. So at low temperature, what happens is that the gas particles become what? Become lazy.
Less kinetic energy.
Less kinetic energy. They're lazy. They're moving slower. And if they're moving slower, less kinetic energy, move slower. These are the things you're going to write if you were asked. They're going to move slower. And are they going to collide more, or like boom, boom? Like
Yes, colliding.
They're going to collide more slower at a lower rate.
Collide less frequently, okay? And therefore, pressure decrease. And if the pressure of my tire decreases, then my car is not going to ride very well, right? So I have to go to the gas station and fill my tire with more air. Sometimes the temperature where I'm staying here is like -23. It's ridiculously cold. And you feel like the tires of the bicycles are like getting, like they're just getting lazier. So I have to put more air to increase the pressure and make up the lost pressure. Okay. Everyone good? Everyone is doing okay? Okay, and I have one more question before we take a break. I'm gonna do one more question and then we're gonna take a 5-minute break. What are 3 ways to increase pressure? 3 ways to increase pressure. And I want everyone to write on the chat. Ibrahim, Yara, Adham, Nada, Yasmin, Aya, look at everyone.
Volume.
تاني كده يا
By
كنوز.
decreasing the area, pressure, increase temperature, and decrease volume. Increasing
Excellent روان, excellent كنوز. مين تاني؟ حسام, علي, حبيبة, برافو, منى, عبد الرحمن. I cannot keep up. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. You guys are super. Okay, so as you all said on the chat, Habibi Ibrahim, excellent job. All right, so you can decrease the volume, right? By decreasing the volume, particles get closer together, they collide more frequently, right? One more thing, you can increase the temperature, and remember the pressure cooker, okay? What we call in Arabic الحل البريستو, okay? Remember the pressure cooker. If you increase temperature, the pressure will increase. And the third way, what's the third way?
Increasing the average amount of particles.
Exactly, you can put more air, put more gas by increasing the number of parts. If you put more gas, you're putting more particles. More particles are hitting the wall, so increases pressure. Okay, so these are 3 ways to increase the pressure. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. All right, we're gonna take a 5-minute break. It's 8:18 right now, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna come back at 8:23. All right. So this is going to be, I don't know, 4:23 Cairo, 5:23 Saudi Arabia, 6:23 UAE, whatever it is. But we will be back in 5 minutes. And we will be talking about the kinetic theory. And this part will be exciting. So yeah, we will be back. All right. All right. It is it's almost 8:23. It's almost been 5 minutes. There are a few questions here. How long is the session? Each session is 2 hours. I try to finish a bit before 2 hours so that if you have another session or something, you can take a break. But please schedule 2 hours. Iman is asking, when is the session for grade 9? Grade 9 starts August 31st. Okay, August 31. August 31st. That's when grade 9 starts. All right. Any other questions?
Miss, I have a question, please. So basically, if my exam is 2022, this session, so I take the lesson starting from today, right?
Yes, this group, all the students in this group are taking the exam in May 2022. All right.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Sundus, I am in grade 9. Can I still take sessions for grade 10? ليه يا سندس ما تشتغلي مع grade 9? Grade 9 is only once a week. And I mean, yes, you can, but if you are in the group with grade 9, we do a session once a week and then we work again next year. So you kind of get ready for grade 10 and they do really, really well. The students who take the starting grade 9 for 2 years, only once a week, they do very well, Sundus. So it's really up to you. We can talk on the private. You can call me after the session and we can talk about it. All right. Miss, about the homework. Yes, Ibrahim. The homework, again, all the files are on the website. You're going to print the classified. You're going to print the notes, of course, to study. You're going to print the classified. You're going to print worksheets. And then you're going to solve them and submit them as a one PDF file to Dina, to Miss Dina. And then we're going to correct them. And then we're going to send them back to you and let you know how much you got. We're going to score you, of course. Is there a WhatsApp group? Yes, ya Walid, there is a WhatsApp group. You have to fill the form. Miss Dina, can you please post the form? Miss Dina, حطي اللينك بتاع الفورم على الشات علشان وليد بيسأل ازاي ممكن ينضم للجروب. I'm not an IGCSE student. Can I attend the sessions? Mirna, it's up to you. You are welcome. But this is really for IGCSE to prepare for the IGCSE exam. You can talk to me on the private. Oh, I joined, but I can join the revision course. Yeah, Walid, you can. There's no revision course. I mean, this is the course. We're going to finish the syllabus in January or February, and then we're going to do our revision. February, Mars, April, 3 months. Miss, I filled the form, but I'm still not in the group. معا ابعت لدينا لأن المفروض تبقى في الجروب. ابعت لدينا قول لها أنا عايزة أدخل الجروب. Okay? ابعت لمس دينا. كلكم عندكم رقم مس دينا. مس دينا حطي رقمك. Put your number and put put your phone number and put the link for the form. Sorry, I zoned out for a second. Your phone number, thank you. This is Dina's phone number. Also put my phone number. حطي رقم تليفوني عشان لو حد عايز يكلمني. And put the link to the form. All right. Any other questions? Okay, let's get back to. I mean, join the revision sessions without starting the course. Walid, it's up to you. If you feel like that's what you want, of course, no problem. Yeah, just make sure you save Miss Dina's phone number so that when it's time for you to join, or you can call her. All right. So we talked about the 3 states of matter, and this is going to be your homework. When you solve your homework, you're going to solve the one sheet about the states of matter, the worksheet, and then you're going to solve the classified, which is the first section of the classified, which has the 3 states of matter. So let me actually show you. So here's the classified. Let me share the screen first so you can see this. The website is igcsevideos.com. And do you want to get it? Yes. All right.
The site is not does not
Chrome.
want to respond.
Chrome.
I'm on Firefox, not Chrome.
Yes, you have to use Chrome. Firefox doesn't do very well.
But I don't prefer Chrome.
Try your phone. But the website is going to give you a very hard time on Firefox. It just is not stable. It's going to give you a very hard time.
And my phone also works on Firefox.
Also, try another browser. The Firefox is just, it doesn't work.
Okay, I'll see Edge because Edge works on Chromium, I think.
Okay, well, yes, try another one and it should work. All right. So here's the homework. The homework is the first. Do you see the screen? All right. So your homework is going to be this section, the 3 states of matter. So you're going to solve all those questions. You're going to stop here. You're going to only do until page 4 because the kinetic theory, we're not going to be done with all the kinetic theory today. Yes. And then the other document is 2016-2018. This is the other document you have to solve. Also, you're going to solve the 3 states of matter. All right. So you're going to also solve all of that. And you're going to also stop here because you may be able to solve some of the kinetic theory, but not all of them. All right. So that's going to be your homework. Plus, of course, the worksheet. Really important. The worksheet is very important. All right. So every time there's going to be a worksheet. Muaz, you have a question?
The website doesn't open to me even on Chrome.
Doesn't work even in Chrome. Send me a screenshot to my private on WhatsApp, and I'm gonna fix it for you. Okay. And there's also a support. There's also a support that you can contact. Support at IGCSE videos.com, and you can get help from them. Any other questions? Oh, actually, yes, Yakunuz. I live in the States. It doesn't work on Chrome. It's not opening. Ibrahim, كلم Dina. كلم Miss Dina. Okay. I don't know why it's not sharing, but let me share again. Okay. I think you're going to be seeing this now. All right, so you can email support at igcsevideos.com. But if you're having any technical issues, please send a screenshot. You can send a screenshot to me. Ibrahim, I think you already did. Okay, and you can talk to Ms. Dina, all right? So let's continue with the kinetic theory. So the next part we're going to talk about is the kinetic theory. Kinetic, all right, theory. All right. And so العلماء, scientists, they said, well, we have figured out a few things in this universe, a few rules in the universe. Basmala, you are in grade 11. Can I take this session? Of course you can. If you are taking the IGCSE O-level exam in May 2020, yes, you can and you should study chemistry, of course, if you're taking the exam. And so those scientists said that we have 5 rules for the kinetic theory, all right? The first rule we have already talked about briefly states that all particles, all matter move. Everything in the universe move. All particles move all the time, 24/7, they never rest, okay? Now, solids do not move, they vibrate, but everything moves, even if it's just vibration. The second rule says that the higher the temperature, what happens to movement when the temperature is high? Exactly. Movement increases. They move faster. They move faster.
Yeah.
Into نمتوا ولا ايه? I feel like people are not participating as much as the first half. Excellent. Yes, people are starting to talk now. Excellent. Yes. The higher the temperature, the higher is the movement of particles. And we just talked about that in regards to the pressure cooker and a few other examples and the tire of the bicycle. And it's really similar to, when you feed toddlers sugar, what happens? What do? They're like, right? They're like very fast. Why? Because you gave them energy. You gave them, they run faster. Okay, and then they break stuff. Acid, thank you. All right, so the third The third kinetic theory states that the heavier the particle, the slower it moves. Okay. حد فيكم قبل كده did you ever gain weight ever in your life? Gain like 20-25 kilograms or something ever in your life? No one? Okay, so when I was pregnant, I gained like 25 kilograms. I was so heavy and I felt like I don't want to move. I felt like I was so lazy. So, you know, like when you're heavy, you're like, and Ahmed is like, over the lockdown, I gained weight, but it's definitely not 25 kilograms. I think I'm the most who gained weight. But yeah, anyways, when I was like really heavy, I was like really slow. I went upstairs and downstairs really slowly, and I was like really slow. So that's the exactly same thing with particles. Particles, if they're small, they're like boom, 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 they're fast, okay? If they're big, then they're moving, but they're slow, all right? So an example of that is water is only 3 atoms. So the particles of water are really, really energetic. They're like moving really fast, okay? Oil, for example, has like 15 particles, 15 atoms per particle, per molecule. So it's really slow, it's heavy, it's like full of stuff. It's like, it's so slow, all right? So this is rule number 3. And we're going to study more about that later when we study about the diffusion. Diffusion is a concept that talks about particles moving from one place to another place. Kunuz, thank you. Viditi, I can relate. Okay. All right. So the 4th rule says that states of matter can change with heating or cooling. So if you have a solid, it can become a liquid and it can become a gas, or a gas can become a liquid and can become a solid if you heat it or cool it. All right. And I want to talk about rule number 4 a bit more before moving back to rule number 5. So rule number 4 says that the state changes when cooling or heating. So if you have a solid and you heat it, what's going to happen?
It will melt.
It's going to instantly turn into liquid.
Exactly. At one point, exactly. If you keep heating the liquid, the solid, at one point, it's going to melt. It's going to melt and it's going to become a liquid. All right.
And if enough heat is applied, it might even turn into gas without passing the state of a liquid.
Excellent. So if you heat the liquid further, we're going to talk about sublimation, but just give me a second. If you heat it further, those particles are going to move even further apart and it's going to turn into a gas. All right. So 4th rule says that states can change when you heat. Now, gas, if you cool the gas, it can turn into a liquid. And if you cool the liquid, it can turn into a solid. We do see this every day in life. How do you see it? Do you see anything melting and turning from liquid to gas?
Ice.
Yeah,
the ice cream.
Ice cream. No, ice cream. Yes. So we as scientists, we like to give a name to each process. What I talked about here are 4 processes, and I'm going to talk about a 5th process, but let's talk about these 4 processes. And the 4 processes, the first one is solid to liquid. Solid to liquid, what do we call solid to liquid? And a lot of
melting.
Melting.
Yes, we call it melting. And then liquid to gas?
Evaporation.
Or boiling.
The amount of heat is boiling.
Yes, and we're going to talk about the difference between evaporation and boiling later. And then gas to liquid is called what?
Condensation.
Condensation.
And liquid to solid?
Freezing. Or solidification.
And solidification is also correct. Both are acceptable. All right. And then there's 1/5 process, and it's not with everything. This is kind of an exception.
Sublimation.
Sublimation is from
solid to gas. Sublimation. And this only occurs in very few substances in the world, very few chemicals. Not every particle will undergo sublimation, all right? Just really certain particles will undergo sublimation, and we'll talk about that. Now, which substance, I have a question for you guys. Which substance, please write on the chat, which substance we have seen multiple times, even daily, in a solid form, in a liquid form, and in a gas form? برافو يا معاذ. ريا, excellent. عبد الله, شادي, Ahmed, Rawan, Maryam, Sundus, Sarah, Yahya, Basmala, thank you very much. Yes, it's water. So we see water is among those substances that we have seen as a solid in a form of ice or snow, in the form of a liquid, and in the form of water vapor or gas. All right, but other substances, yes, Lujain, تفضلي.
I think that the dry ice is an example of sublimation, which is changes from solid to gas.
So, Lujain, thank you very much. Sublimation, we have two examples in our syllabus that undergo sublimation. Now, Ria says that when gas changes to solid, we call it deposition. That's correct, deposition. But Ria, in the IGCSE exam, you're going to just write sublimation, whether it's solid to gas or gas to solid, all right? Because that's what they wrote in the mark scheme. They just wrote sublimation. You do not have to know the word deposition, but deposition is true. So Lujain talked about the examples of sublimation. So what are the examples of sublimation? Two chemicals. The first chemical is carbon dioxide. Now, carbon dioxide at room temperature is what? Solid, liquid, or gas?
Gas.
It's gas, of course. It's in the air in small quantities. It's gas. If we cool it to like -70 or something, if we cool it a lot, it's not gonna condense to liquid and then solidify to solid. It's gonna actually turn to solid right away. Okay, and it's gonna form a solid that we call dry ice, because it just looks like regular ice so much, but it's just dry. It's not mablul زي ice. Okay. The other chemical, Ria talked about it. Does anyone know what's that other chemical that we have to know in the IGCSE?
Iodine.
Yeah, it's dry ice.
Iodine. Thank you very much. Iodine. This is a chemical that we're going to study later in chapter 3 and in chapter 9. What's the color of iodine? Does anybody
It is brown. It's brown.
No, actually, in the solid form, it's kind of black. And then when it sublimes to a gas, it gives purple vapors, purple gas. Okay. And زي ما معاذ ما قال, if we dissolve iodine in water, it gives a brown liquid, but we will study that in chapter 9. So just wait for chapter 9 and we're going to study more about it. All right. So that's with sublimation. Now there's a third example, and I don't know if you know it or not, but it's not in our syllabus. It's called something called naphthalene. Did anyone hear about the naphthalene before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
I think that produces a bad smell, or
yes, it does.
It
So
gives off a
naphthalene
bad smell to like
it's like
give
a
off
white
rodents and stuff.
عبارة عن كور بيضة كده, white balls, little white balls,
nasty smell.
and it sublimes directly to gas, and this gas actually kills insects. All right, and
Kills rodents.
you know why we use
in
it?
general.
I think we use it in the bathroom.
To kill off rodents and
Kill off
insects
rodents.
that infest.
So when we used to live in Dubai, and sometimes we visited Egypt, and we had a flat in Egypt. So we left this house for like the whole year before we came back. And so when we left it, we want to make sure that all our clothes and our furniture and our mattresses are protected. So we used to put this naphthalene, and it really smells bad. Summer, you have a question?
Yes, Dr. Nirvana, hi. This is Summer. I'm a chemistry teacher, by the way, and sorry for like interrupting your session. I found the link in front of me on Facebook, and I just wanted to say thanks a lot. It was an interesting last 10 minutes. Really, for me as a teacher, I've enjoyed it, and really, you are a well-known person.
Oh, thank you so much, Summer.
Really, and it's my pleasure to see you in person. And just I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you, and please stay in touch. You know, you have my I hope you have my WhatsApp number. It's on the chat. So thank you so much, Dr. Summer.
You're welcome, Dr. Nirvana. It was my pleasure. Okay, and I'll just leave right now to let you have your time with your students.
Thank you so much. Very nice to meet you, Dr. Summer.
You're most welcome.
All right.
Me too, ma'am. Excuse me.
So we were
Bye.
bye. Okay, so we talked about sublimation, and we have two examples in the manhaj, in the syllabus, in our syllabus. Those are carbon dioxide and iodine, but there's this one third thing that we use in our house, or if you're traveling, if you have some furniture you want to keep safe, then you can use this naphthalene thing that smells really bad. I've never forgotten this smell. But so next we want to talk about examples of melting. You have talked about ice. You've talked about ice cream. What else? What else we see at home that melts, turns from solid to liquid? Chocolate, yum. So Sarah says molten chocolates. Yes, if you heat chocolate, it's gonna turn into liquid. What else? Butter is zibda, butter, yes. When the AC is off, everything melts. Of course, if you're living in a really hot place, butter, cheese, chocolate, ice cream, all of that stuff, they are real life examples of solid turning into a liquid. Now, what about mozzarella cheese? Thank you, Basmala. So what about liquid turning into a gas? Give me an example that you see at home of a liquid turning into a gas.
Boiling water.
Boiling water. When you make coffee. Roa, thank you very much. Fatima, thank you very much. Yes, that's an example of boiling that we see every day. What about condensation? So condensation is gas turning into a liquid.
Like, Miss, when you're cooking a soup and you're putting the cover of the pot, there are some drops of water at the pot rising in.
Excellent, ya Rawan. So if you cook something, all right, and then you're done cooking, all right, you already cooked your rice or meat or whatever. When you're done, and here's your food, okay? When you're done, you're gonna see some droplets of water and the inside of the cover. Where did this water come from? It came from the water vapor over here, touching a cold surface and condensing on the cold surface. Haneen, excellent example. Your mirror
water
after
bottle.
the shower. So after you shower, there's a lot of water vapor in the bathroom, right? What happens when it sees that mirror, that cold surface, المراية, it condenses on the mirror, and then you see this mirror full of condensed water vapor. Kunuz, go ahead.
Maybe also bottles, water bottles, and windows.
Bottles and windows. And Ria said the same thing. If you have a cold bottle of water or a cold Pepsi or Coca-Cola and you take it out of the fridge, what happens after a few minutes? It collects a lot of water vapor on the outside. Why? Because it's a cold surface and the air is full of water vapor. And what happens when the water vapor sees a cold surface? It's like, ooh, a cold surface, let's condense. And so it goes on that surface and it condenses. All right. A very similar example to that is people who wear glasses like me. And if you're in a cold room and then you go out in the humid, right? I grew up.
I hate that, teacher. I hate that. I just thought I'm blind.
I know. I grew up in Dubai and it's such a humid country, a humid city. Dubai is a city, of course, United Arab Emirates. So it is so humid that as soon as you go out with your cold glasses, shabura is like your whole glasses is all filled with condensed water vapor. Excellent examples in the chat, really good examples in the chat. I live in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, that's great. So I was born and raised almost all my life in Dubai. So when you take a shower and you see your mirror all full of water droplets, when you have your glasses fill with water droplets, when you see the inside of the pot, the cover of the pot filled with water droplets, when you see your Coca-Cola cold can fill with water droplets from the outside, remember, this is a process of condensation, gas turning into a liquid. Now, what about liquid turning into a solid? I'm going to close the door very quickly, but I want examples of liquid turning into a solid.
Like the cubes of ice and all these things.
Yes.
Ice
What else?
preparation. Ice cream preparation.
Ice preparation. And so if you put some water in the freezer, it's going to turn into ice. If you put juice in the freezer, if you put milk in the freezer, if you put anything in the freezer, it's going to turn into ice. If the weather is cold, I mean, right now it's August, so thankfully the weather is good, but in December, the weather becomes really, really, really cold. It's negative something, it's under zero. So all the lakes, all the water puddles, all like everything freezes. I usually forget some of my groceries in the car in the winter, including like Coca-Cola cans. And when I forget it in the car, it's done because it freezes and it's ruined. Frozen juice, jelly, freezing water, like all those examples. Jelly, not really, because jelly has something that turns it into a solid. So not really free. It's not really a freezing process. Arwa, thank you. Thank you for thinking. I love that you're, بتشغلي دماغك and you're thinking. That's really good. All right,
like
so
when you freeze ice cream or milk to be an ice cream.
Say that again, please.
When you're freezing like milk together than ice cream, like an ice cream.
Ice cream, when you're making ice cream, you actually have to freeze it and keep it at freezing point, or keep it at a cold temperature so it doesn't melt. All right, so one more question. When does melting happen? When
energy is
When
supplied
the
to a
boiling
solid.
point is reached.
Excellent, Basant. Excellent, Omar. When the melting point, so melting happens at melting point. Okay, what about boiling?
A boiling point.
It happens at boiling point. It happens at boiling point. It's actually 8:50, so I'm kind of thinking if we have to stop at this point and we can continue and resume next time, because I'm pretty sure your brains are exploding, but you guys have done excellent job today. Excellent examples, excellent participation. I love that you opened the mic and you talk about examples, and the chat is just amazing and it's full of great examples. Again, I want to emphasize that tomorrow, Monday, you have office hours with Dr. Inji. Dr. Inji is a pharmacy student. She used to be, she's an IGCSE graduate, and she's really good, and she's been working with us, with the team since last year. So Dr. Inji tomorrow at 7 p.m. Cairo. Now, Yusuf, you said you're not going to be able to join until, you can join at 9 p.m. I'm going to tell her to stay for an additional 5 minutes. All it takes is 5 minutes, because she's going to just ask you a few questions. So Yusuf, if you can just join, لا يا كنوز, you have to talk to Dina. You have to call Dina on the WhatsApp. Please get in touch with Miss Dina, and Miss Dina will email you the Zoom link for Inji's office hour, my office hours. So my office hours are Tuesdays. This time it's going to be 8 p.m. Cairo, but next time we can change it depending on your schedule. What's the office hour? Office hour is an extra session. Office hour يا سندس دي حصص زيادة. It's an extra session just to support you, make sure you're doing well, make sure you know your material, make sure all your questions are answered. So these are extra, but the الحصص الأساسية, the main sessions are Sunday and Thursday. Okay, so these are the main sessions at 3 p.m. Cairo. Okay, so 3 p.m. Cairo, 4 p.m. Saudi Arabia, and 5 p.m. UAE. These are the main sessions. That's when we explain the content. And then Angie's office hours are on Mondays. She's going to ask you questions. All right. Ahmed is saying, is it a problem if we miss office hours? Not a problem. But see, Ahmed, I'd like to make sure that you're doing well. So I want you to join Miss Inji for at least 5 minutes. If you can just join for 5 minutes from 7 to 7:15, she's going to ask you 3-4 questions. Just make sure you're doing well, and then you can leave. Okay. It only takes 5 minutes, but it really helps us, نطمن عليك, make sure that you're doing well. Okay. Yes.
Miss, do we have to join both office hours or one is fine?
Probably Angie is the most important. The reason I scheduled myself an office hour is that sometimes some students are not doing well and their quiz scores are low. If your quiz scores are not good, I'm going to ask you to attend office hours. It's not going to be an option anymore. معاذ اتفضل.
Is there like a specific way to like pay for the next session or the course itself?
Yes. Talk to Miss Dina. Miss Dina, ممكن تحطي رقم تليفونك, your WhatsApp with Miss كنوز. أنا هخلص بعد 6 minutes. إحنا هنقفل بعد 6 minutes. مس دينا هي حطت رقم تليفونها يا معاذ, ممكن تكلمها على الواتساب. هي هتبعت لك form, a registration form that you need to fill out. She's going to tell you what to do. All right. And so Ahmed was saying, is it important to attend office hours? Angie's office hours are very important. Again, please try to attend it. Even 5 minutes is fine. And then my office hours on Tuesdays is totally optional. This is only if you have like, I don't know. But if you're not doing well, I will ask you to come. Okay. Free to my students, yes. Viditi, my office, all the office hours are free to students who join this course, which is, so this course is for students taking the IGCSE exam in May, June of 2022. Okay, those students who are taking the exam in 2023, they have another course that starts in August 31st. So if you are in grade 9, if you're taking the exam in June 2023, then this is not your group. You have to join the August 31st. It's every Tuesday. It's Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Cairo, and this is for the June 2023 group. Okay, so this is another group. Okay, Yusuf, you have a question. اتفضل يا يوسف.
Yeah, Miss, about the homework, we are going to do the 2002 until 2015 until the kinetic theory, yeah?
Yes, from 2002 until 2015, that's one document. And then there is another document that you also have to do from 2016 to 2018. Both documents are Yusuf. The homework is small, so please do both documents. And the worksheet.
Yeah, the worksheet chapter 1, yeah?
Yes, worksheet, not chapter 1, worksheet states of matter, just 1 page.
Miss, could you share the link of the website right now, because it doesn't work for me. I've tried it many times on Chrome and it doesn't work. So I don't know from where is the problem.
You probably need to use Chrome.
Yes, Miss, that's exactly what I used. I used Chrome and it seems nothing happened. I also messaged you on WhatsApp sending you the screenshot.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to get to my phone after the session and I'm going to see what's going on, because I do need a screenshot to see what's going on. Where can we find the homework, Habiba? The homework is on the website. As soon as you join the class, you will have access to chapter 1 and you're going to have all the materials. Now, Yusuf, remember to watch the videos. Okay, so there are videos on the website. You have to watch them all. I had a problem with the site not working Chrome and used Safari instead, and it worked. So looks like Safari is working. Yes, Safari actually works for me because I use Apple. So if you have Safari, then Safari is actually perfect if you have Apple. What else? Any other questions? Ma'an, Yusuf, Yahya, Ibrahim, Yara, Adham, Nada, Sarah.
Miss, so basically I joined the class and opened my IGCSE videos thingy, and then there I can find chapter 1, but the thing is I can't find the homework nor the classified papers.
Okay, just call me or call Ms. Dina, and we're going to make sure that you have access to the right course. Okay?
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. What is the homework again, Abdullah? The worksheet, classified, everything related to 3 states of matter. Will be there a Google Classroom? No, we're working on Zoom, and we communicate through the WhatsApp. Shadi, thank you. Abdullah, thank you very much. Thank you all. You guys are amazing. Just make sure you contact either myself or Dina.
Are you available on Telegram?
Yes, I'm available on Telegram. But this class, for this class, we have a group on WhatsApp. And you can find my phone number on Telegram. Yes, I am available. All right.
Things I don't use WhatsApp.
Yes, to join the WhatsApp group, please contact Miss Dina. Okay, it's very important to contact Miss Dina, fill the form, join the class, and I will see you all, inshallah, on Thursday. All right. So how do you contact her? Miss Dina, حطي رقم تليفونك please. معلش مرة كمان. Miss Dina حطت registration form and هتحط لكم دلوقتي her phone number. She's gonna put her phone number. Man, you have been amazing today. Thank you so much for participating. Yusuf, Yahya, Ibrahim, you guys are all amazing. So this is Miss Dina's phone number. Also put my phone number, Miss Dina, لو تحطي كمان my phone number. حطي رقم تليفوني. Sundus, thank you so much. You've been amazing. Great examples. You guys are so genius. All right. So I will see you inshallah.
The website on Google Chrome also isn't working.
Website on Google Chrome doesn't work. Just send me a screenshot to my phone number. All right.
Okay.
Haneen, you have a question? I think Haneen is you raised your hand. Do you have any questions? Basan, thank you. Awesome. All right, it's been amazing. Oh, no problem, Haneen, that's fine. Okay, so what we're gonna do is you guys are going to join Miss Inji tomorrow. She's going to ask you questions. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you solve the questions, the homework. Submit it to Miss Dina before Wednesday. Okay, very important to submit the homework by Wednesday. This is your deadline, no later than Wednesday. And then I will see you, inshallah, on Thursday at 3 p.m. Cairo, 4 p.m. Saudi Arabia, and 5 p.m. UAE. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to call me on my cell phone.
We submit it to Miss Dina, yeah?
Yes, Miss Dina. If you can call Miss Dina, she's gonna tell you what to do, and she's gonna make sure you join the group, have access to chapter 1, and you can also contact me on WhatsApp. I'm also available. All right. Okay, guys. I'll see you Thursday. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, Miss. Thank you
for this great session.
Bye, Ludain.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Basan.
Thank you for this great session.
Thank you, Sandus.
Focus.
Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you, Ibrahim.
Thank you.
Mariam, thank you, Ibrahim.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kunuz. Thank you, Rawan.
Thanks a bunch.
Thanks a bunch to you too. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Ahmed, Ammar, Ali, Sarah. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. All right.
Miss,
Dr. Ahmed is also here. Thank you so much for joining.
Miss, I'm sorry. Do you have a minute?
Sure.
No problem, doctor.
I thought the session was 5 p.m., so I just entered. I'm really sorry, and I missed the class. Is there any way possible that I could see the class again, or I could join you?
Yes, it's recorded. It's recorded. Please contact me. Stay in touch with the. Oh, I'll tell you what to do so we can stay in touch. Fill the form. Yes. Fill the form, and then Ms. Dina will have you join the group, and then you can ask anything, and you can contact me too. You have my phone number, right?
Yeah, I took a picture of it. Just a question, where is the homework? How do I get to the homework?
It's on the website, and we talked about that during the session. So when you watch the session, you will know how to access chapter 1, how to get the homework, how to print everything. Don't worry.
Okay, could I contact you if I have any problems?
Please do. Please contact me if you have any questions. Yes, we're all available.
Thank you very much.
Dina's available. And by the way, my assistant, Dr. Ahmed Higazi, is on the call. I just saw his name right now. I'm so sorry, Dr. Ahmed, but Dr. Ahmed is here. He's my assistant. He's going to help us extensively starting September, inshallah. Maybe earlier than September, but he's also available. You can ask him a lot of questions anytime. There's also Miss Inji. She's also available. And there's a lot of other assistants, and we will get to know them all. And for now, just make sure you attend tomorrow's office hour with Inji, and of course attend the lessons on time starting Thursday, inshallah. And I'll tell you what, if you do exactly what I tell you, the A-star is going to be a piece of cake. It's going to be nothing. It's so easy. Yeah. So just do exactly what I tell you. The homework that I gave you today, make sure you solve it before Wednesday, submit it on time, submit it to Ms. Dina on time. and attend the sessions. Try to attend with Miss Angie the office hours, and the star will be just easy, very easy.
Yes. Okay. When is the office hours?
So office hours with Angie tomorrow, every Monday at 7 p.m. Cairo time. You have to join at 7 p.m. exactly, because every student will open the camera, will open the mic, and will answer specific questions.
Okay, so how do I get the ID and everything to allow me to enter the class?
The Zoom, you mean the Zoom?
Yes.
So Ms. Dina sends all the students in the course an email with the Zoom link for each class, including the office hours and everything. So
okay, so
just make sure you
join the group. Yeah, I'll register and I'll join, of course. Okay, thank you.
And then get in touch with Ms. Dina. Get in touch with me. Call one of us, and yeah.
Okay,
we will
thank
get
you,
this.
thank you.
We will get this straight today, inshallah. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. Looks like there's none. Unless you have a question, then I'm happy to answer. Thank you, Islam. Thank you, Yara. Very happy to see you, Yara. Thank you. So Yara is actually, her older sibling used to be studying with me the last 2 years, and he is just amazing. He's a genius. So mashallah Ali. Saja Farouk, thank you so much. Noor, Muhammad, Mahmoud, Mariam. iPhone, thank you, iPhone, for joining. I don't know what's your name, but thank you. All right, so I will see you inshallah Thursday. And I hope you have a wonderful day today. So enjoy your time. All right, bye.